Hello to everyone, and welcome to Red Ice Gal 100 subscribers special. First of all, I want to thank everyone who subscribed, watched, and commented on my channel. To climb to 100 in less than a year and getting so much positive feedback has been an incredible experience. And to celebrate, I've decided to make a video in hopes of getting people to know me a little better. And my way of doing so is listing 5 archetypes, series, and slasher support that I wish to see in Duel Links. These are ordered from "It'd be nice if they dropped soon" to "I want them now." And they are completely based on my deck building and playstyle taste. Maybe I even end up introducing someone to my favorite decks too. With that introduction out of the way, let's begin. At number 5, I decided on a deck that people are probably gonna be getting bad flashbacks from, solely because they recently had a small role in one of the most toxic strategies. And that's Springans. I know Blast was probably a bad way to introduce people to the archetype, and that the new cards can search their ion too is probably gonna get me publicly shunned. But trust me, out of every Albaz lore slop archetype, I find Springans the most gimmicky bunch, their playstyle being what I can only refer as reverse exceed summoning. Their missile and robotic aesthetics are cool looking, and Kit, of course, I can't not mention that Kit is here. Helps them stay unique on their own instead of becoming another cog in the Albaz lore pile whose only purpose is to make another Mirror Jade. On the 4th spot, I decided to put Skull Servants. I think it's very surprising that Skull Servants' modern support hasn't been introduced already. With the amount of cards and clearly being one of Konami's favorite silly bunch of goofs, one would think that they'd take the chance to dump all of their newest cards either in a structure deck or on a new box. And since they are a small series, they'd fit perfectly in the 30 cards limit decks we have. There's not much more I can say. These skeleton guys are silly, they are goofy, and they will hit you for 10,000 damage. What else do we need? For number 3, I want to talk about the Metalmorph bunch. Being based on one of the best duels of the series and featuring a boss monster so cool that it's become the core of several decks I play. If the deck can summon a dragon, you bet I'm going to put a small Metalmorph engine to summon Red Ice Full Metal Dragon. I'm sure they are gonna have to nerf the deck's overall burn damage when the cards are eventually released, but I much rather negate and burn with Full Metal Dragon than negating and burning with Dragoon. I'm pretty sure that the alternate version of Joey already has lines with these cards, so all I'm left doing is waiting for the day they drop. At number 2, I'm gonna talk about an archetype that's completely missing from the game, along with the person that pilots them. Despite Zexal World being released so long ago, it's amazing that Gauche and the heroic archetype haven't been in Duel Links at all, with the exception of Excalibur. Look, I'm not asking for Rangaminiad to make its infamous appearance in the game. If it does, I do hope they make it a skill-locked card. The fact that we are getting filler-only characters like the Orichalco's bunch and Rebecca before an actual character in the show is pretty funny. One could make the argument that Konami doesn't want an archetype made of monsters capable reaching past 10,000 attack points to be in the game because it might be dangerous. But then I remember Stardust can activate a trap from their hand that cheats a 20,000 attack points dragon, and I'm just left baffled with how they decide who's allowed to break the game and who isn't. And finally, the number 1 series of cards I wish for Konami to introduce to Duel Links is, well, it's not a surprise actually. Those who know me or have at least heard of me know that I've been screaming into the void for them to introduce the Flame Swordsman cards. These cards' power level, number of cards, and effects feel like they were designed to be introduced in Duel Links. I'm not sure how strong they'd be. Decks like this one are only as good as the skill they got, but from my own experience playing them, I'm almost sure they'd become a pretty good rogue deck. Especially since they don't have that many restrictions, which allows them to become a splashable option in warrior or fire decks that could use the boost. Equip-based cards, battle focus, and great aesthetics are things that always drive me towards a deck. And I'm glad these cards are good enough so that I don't have to feel like I'm coping while playing them. Well, that's all from me. Once again, I thank everyone for supporting me this far. It really means a lot to me. When I started, I wasn't sure for how long I'd be doing YouTube or if I should even give it a chance, but being able to express myself this much and have people willing to see what I make, react to it and talk about makes me extremely happy. The community has felt so welcoming to me just casually and suddenly intruding, that I can only hope to keep interacting with all of you for many more years to come. And once again, thanks for everything.